journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doan.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos at 1040 O Street, right on the corner. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. We got a guest in tonight, so if you guys want to join in as we're live on the airwaves, no Royals tonight. They will have a doubleheader tomorrow versus the Cardinals. So tonight we're on the airwaves, 402-464-5685. You guys want to join the show, as always, feel free to do so. And if you want to put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, Channel 961. But we got the host to my left, Chancellor Brewington. How's it going on this Tuesday night?
It's going great. It's going great. In the studio today. Well, yeah, of course. Make sure everyone having a good Tuesday. Don't want to go over that. But in the studio today, we got a very special guest. Player I played with, great dude, awesome football player, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda. Did I get it right?
Almost. Castaneda.
Castaneda. Well, I appreciate you coming on because I know how summer is. Yeah, I know. Man. The bed is priceless right now.
For sure. No, I'm happy to be here, bro. Appreciate you for having me.
Of course. So I like to just start the shows off pretty plain, pretty basic. Just kind of getting to know where you're from, a little bit about how you grew up. So just give us a backstory, where you grew up, childhood a little bit.
Yeah, so originally I was actually born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Um, got a lot of family from New Mexico. Still have a lot there, but I grew up there till I was about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and then my dad, he was in the Marine Corps, so
Oh, really?
yeah, so he got orders to be stationed in California. So when I was like 7 or 8, we moved to Southern California, small military town called 29 Palms, California,
Mm.
and nobody ever knows where it's at. Like,
Right,
it's
right.
like real small. I always got to say by Palm Springs. You've heard Palm Springs before, but yeah, I was there pretty much for the rest of the time. Like my parents still live there. That's still home to me. So yeah, I grew up there. Other than that, not much to it really.
Right. So growing up, when did football come into play? Was it a childhood thing where you gravitated towards it, or was there other sports involved?
It started early on. I feel like I used to like my uncle was big football fan, my dad, my grandpa. So like I was always like watching obviously NFL football
Right.
growing up when I was a kid and stuff. And then finally like I played flag football like early on, probably when I was like 6, 5, 6,
Right.
something like that. And then tackle football, that time came around when I was like 7 or 8.
Oh wow, you was a youngin in there.
Yeah. I was
There
like,
you go.
I was like 7 or 8, bro. And like my mom and dad, they signed me up. And then like from that first season, it was like instantly just fell in love with it. Like it was easily by far my favorite sport. Like since then, I like knew I was like obviously every kid wants to be an
Right.
NFL player, but like I was that kid. Like as a
Mhm.
little kid, I'm just like, man, this is like there's nothing better than this. Like
Right.
literally, like this is the best sport in the world. So yeah, it started off early for me.
Who was your favorite player like when you was a youngin?
Well, when I was young, I'm a Cowboys fan. So
Oh, boy.
I didn't even want to say that, but I had to because when I was young, like obviously I used to love watching the Cowboys. So
Right.
like this is a player that not a lot of people probably even remember as a throwback, but like at the time, Marion Barber.
Oh
was
wow.
running back.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
At the time, Marion Barber was my favorite player, and because I played running back, like that was my position. I didn't play receiver until like 8th grade.
Oh
So
wow.
I was always a running back growing up. So I used to love watching Marion Barber, and I was almost number 24 because of him. But then I ended up getting 14 because of my uncle, and I stuck with that. But yeah, Marion Barber was definitely a player that I loved when I was little. I had his jersey and everything.
Really? Do you think playing running back when you was younger kind of helped you be comfortable carrying the ball like when you're older?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like just it came natural to me already, but
Mhm.
then like obviously making the transition to wide receiver, like once I got older and realized like I wasn't really a big dude, and I was like I had speed, so
Right.
it's like I kind of knew I was going to transition into receiver if I wanted to play in college and stuff, and so yeah, as far as like carrying the ball and stuff like that, like vision, like I feel like that definitely like translated over from playing running back my whole life.
So going into high school, uh, was there a moment where it kind of clicked and you're like, okay, I could play at the next level?
I feel like I always believed in myself that I
Mm.
could, but what made it a little bit like kind of make me have some question marks sometimes was being from a really small town and a
Mm.
really small high school that like guys didn't get recruited out of my high school. And I mean, I didn't get recruited. Like, so once I was in high school, kind of getting older, playing varsity and stuff like that, like I always felt like I could play at the highest level,
Mhm.
but it was just kind of a matter of like, how am I gonna get there?
Right,
Like,
right.
what's it gonna take? Like my route, like my dad always told me, like my route is just gonna be a little bit different
Mm.
than some of the guys that get offers straight out of high school
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So I feel like it more hit me that I could play at this level when I played in junior college, like out of
Really?
high school. Yeah, that's when it like really hit me because as a true freshman in JUCO, like I came in, started every game, put up almost 1,000 yards off like 46, 44
Oh
catches,
my
something like
God.
that.
Oh my,
13,
what'd you average? Like
13
20,
touchdowns.
23, 24 yards a catch?
Yeah,
Bro,
somewhere
that's
around there.
nuts.
Yeah,
That's nuts. That's
yeah,
insane.
that was fresh out of high school, true freshman, and that was like at a JUCO, Saddleback College is what it's called in
Right.
Southern California. But it's a very competitive JUCO, like one of the best in the country in my opinion. We were
That's
ranked,
SoCal.
yeah, it's in Orange County, so Southern
Oh,
California.
yeah.
So we were when we were playing, we were like at one point ranked like third in the country, like JUCO wise, ranked like third or fourth in the nation. So it was competitive. That's when I knew I was like, I think I could take this somewhere, like for real.
Did you have those? I had D Money. There is more on here.
Oh yeah,
and he was telling me some JUCO stories of how there was some nights he didn't have nothing to eat. Like, did you have those? I'm not saying you not have nothing to eat, but like I'm saying just like the JUCO struggle experience of like 5-6 dudes in the crib.
Yeah, I fortunately didn't have to necessarily experience like super bad struggles while I was in JUCO, but I definitely I witnessed my teammates. Like I got fortunate enough to my coach, one of my coaches on the staff, he got me in contact with this older lady. Her name was Barbara, and she had previous years rented out a room in her house to players on the football team. And so ended up getting connected with her, and she lived in Laguna Niguel, which is like a very nice area, like 10, 15 minutes away from the campus. And basically reached out to her and was like, hey, look, like I'm fresh out of high school, like I'm gonna be playing football, going to school here at Saddleback. Like, are you still, available to rent a room, to a player like me? And so she was like super nice lady, all for it. And down there is really expensive too, like cost of living. And like one thing that other people, like most people don't know about JUCOs on the West Coast is there are no scholarships, there's no dorms, there's no meal plans. Like you got to pay for everything. So I got hooked up with a room at her house for like $600 a month. But for that area is like,
that's gold.
Insane.
Yeah, that's gold.
So I was there, and I was cooking for myself for the first time out of high school, like meal prepping, you know what I mean? So like, I made sure I budgeted what I had with the money that I had and stuff like that. So, I was very thankful for her. She actually, rest in peace, she passed away 2022. She had cancer when I met her. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, then honestly, I probably would have been sharing a crib with a bunch of teammates, and who knows like how that would have went. But I remember like some of my teammates would be like 8 deep in a 2-bedroom apartment. Like dudes are putting up basically just occurring in one room to try and split a single room up. You got air mattresses in the living room, couches. Like I don't witness it. Like I've seen it there. So I, it's definitely a struggle, but fortunately I didn't have to necessarily live like that. So I was thankful for that. But yeah, it's definitely tough because you got to provide for yourself out there. It's like I said, no scholarships, nothing like that. So it's a different type of world.
So you're in JUCO and you had this great year. Was it like automatic, like schools coming in offering you? Like when did New Mexico get on the table?
Probably like I want to say it was like definitely the second half of the season. When I started hearing from schools.
So it was during the season.
Yeah, it was during the season when I started hearing from schools, and like I remember created a new Twitter account for that year for like recruitment purposes, because obviously like nowadays that's
all it is.
Yeah, and so like throughout the season, after each game, I'm putting my highlights together, and like instantly just like I probably sent 50 emails a day. At one point, like just going online, finding coaches' emails and the staff directories and stuff. Just I write one paragraph, copy and paste, just send it to like.
Is that something you would recommend to JUCO guys?
For sure, yeah.
That worked.
I was doing that on emails and Twitter. Like any coach that was a recruiting coordinator, position coach at a school that I was interested in, like I'm following them, messaging them if they have their messages open. And finally, like about mid-season or a little bit past mid-season is when I started like hearing some things back, because at that point, like I was putting up pretty solid numbers.
You had the numbers to co-sign it. Got you.
And I had the film. I was uploading the film and stuff like that. So yeah, my first offer came probably, I want to say like week 7, 8, something like that, somewhere around there. And then that's when the rest of them kind of started coming in.
So when did you commit? I'm trying to think. December, or was it spring commit for you?
It was December.
December,
because I was trying to get out of there and go.
Then you got up there the following
that January.
Oh
like
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so
there you go. You was there for mat drills.
Well, that was COVID. That was 2020. So our like spring ball got canceled. We didn't even have spring ball.
Really?
Because COVID happened in like February that year.
So did they send you back home?
Yeah, I was home for like a good, I want to say like 3-4 months. Like it was
I remember that.
no haircut.
Yeah.
Roughing it, bro.
And this is Cali.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was back home in Cali. Yeah.
That's the real COVID quarantine. Yeah.
It was rough. It was rough. But yeah, I had enrolled and everything. That's the other thing I think about. Like, thank God that I had them offers
Yeah.
off that first season, because obviously nobody knew COVID was about to happen. And that ruined recruitment for a lot of people,
Right.
I'm sure, across the country. So luckily I was already, signed there, enrolled and everything, and then COVID hit. So yeah, but
So you get to New Mexico, obviously COVID happened. Y'all come back, I'm guessing, for probably around this time, right?
yeah, about June,
summertime,
June.
summertime workout, stuff like that. Was your mindset going into the season like, I'm getting up out of here?
No, it
Really?
wasn't. It was like I was locked in. I was trying to ball out there. Like
Right.
it was, but that's the other thing. Our season got canceled. We didn't have, us and UConn were the only two FBS programs that year that didn't have a season whatsoever. Because like most teams were doing just conference.
Right.
Yep. We didn't have none of that because we were independent.
So,
So,
yeah, that's right.
At the time we were.
Yeah.
Now they're like
they're Sunbelt, right?
CUSA,
Or
Conference USA.
okay.
Yeah, they used to be Sunbelt though a
Okay.
few years back.
Okay.
But at the time when I was there, we were independent. So I remember we started fall camp, and literally like second day they canceled it because of COVID and everything.
Same at NAU, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
terrible.
it was like,
So did y'all play spring?
No, not that. The following spring we had like a mini spring season against two FCS teams. It was weird. We didn't have spring ball the following spring, like spring of 2021.
Right.
But it was like a weird thing. We played like Tarleton State and Dixie State.
Okay. So then you have a whole, did y'all do like y'all had like mini fall camp during like October?
No,
Y'all didn't do that? Bro,
Thank
we did,
God.
bro. It was terrible. It was so bad.
I was so glad we didn't do that because I was worried about that. I was like, damn, like they're probably just gonna make us like practice. Like
Right.
still, even though we're not playing.
Y'all
this
didn't practice
season.
at all?
No, we just went straight into
To lift?
off-season workout.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
It low-key blessed me. Like
Yeah.
looking back on it now, like I don't think my body physically was ready for that season.
Right.
In all honesty, like I'm sure I would have like been decent, but like looking back on it now, like having the season canceled and then going straight into off season, having that whole off season to just get a little stronger, a little bit bigger, like I think that was kind of a blessing in disguise for me
Right.
because I don't know if I was really ready physically at that point. But
So 2021, y'all come back after the spring, summer, and then y'all get into the season, and you go pretty crazy. I ain't gonna cap. I seen the film when you first came to Nebraska. I seen the film.
Yeah.
I seen the film. You went crazy.
Especially, and we didn't have a great year. We went like 2-10.
Oh
Like,
Lord.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez.
It was rough. So like considering the circumstances and the targets that I did get, like I had like a mindset. It was just like I got to turn up with every opportunity that I have. You know what I mean? Because it was our coaching staff that year was on a hot seat. So it was like at that point it was like nothing's promised after this year necessarily.
Did you play with Rashi out there?
He was. Yeah. I didn't get to play like in a season with him,
Mhm.
but he was on the team when I first got there.
Okay.
And so I was on a team with him for probably like almost that whole COVID year. Cause I remember he entered the portal like after our season was canceled or
Okay.
something like that in 2020. But yeah, he was cool.
Okay.
He went to Arizona. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I just had to ask. So obviously you go crazy during that year, and then you decided to hit the portal. What was that decision like for you?
It honestly was kind of easy because I kind of got like I had help and influence from the staff that was there because they got fired after.
Oh, so that's kind of what forced the decision.
Yeah, like they got fired, and my position coach, my receiver coach, he like encouraged me to, and the head coach, like they were at that point, like I had the film, like I
Right.
had the numbers, considering like the targets and catches I had and stuff, and they kind of like told me like, look, like I think you can go P5, like you just,
Mhm.
I think this is a good opportunity to just see where it goes, like enter the portal. Like obviously they weren't going to be there, they're about to get
Right.
fired, and then it's always hard when the new staff's coming in, you know what I mean? Like I hadn't experienced that before, so and obviously like since a young age, like my ultimate goal was to play Power 5, like
Right.
the highest level. So I was just like, yeah, it was kind of like a real bet on yourself moment, see what happens. I was nervous though for sure because I was like, that was also when the portal was like somewhat fresh. Like it was not jumping like it is now.
First
you know
like
what
2
I mean?
years of it.
Yeah. So like, which is also kind of good because like there wasn't a lot going on in the portal. So yeah, I was nervous though at first because I was just like, well, what if I don't get offered or something like that? But
because folks get stuck in there.
yeah, no,
folks
they do,
get that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
But
So
yeah, luckily it went good. But
so what? Obviously, Nebraska come in. Was the other schools that kind of had your eye? Like, okay, I'm thinking about this, or was it strictly Nebraska?
No, I had some other schools. My top 3 actually came down to here, Minnesota, and Iowa State.
Oh wow,
Okay.
Yeah,
Good save there. Save it with the state.
It was tough though because I'd entered the portal in December after the season ended, and I was trying to be at a new school that January. So like I didn't have much time to like go on a bunch of visits, and they were about to have like a dead period, and like you can't do visits obviously on the dead period. So like I set up my 3 OVs to Iowa State, Minnesota, and Nebraska, literally back-to-back days. Like normally it's a whole weekend for one school. I went Iowa State Thursday, flew to Minnesota Friday morning, flew to Nebraska Saturday.
Oh my goodness, you was exhausted by the time you got to Nebraska, huh?
Yes, me and my parents, all 3 of us came. My parents we were all just tired by the time we got home, but I had no choice because the next week was dead week because of like the high school signing.
Oh
days and
yeah.
stuff. So I was like, I got to make my decision because I was trying to be at a new school in January. So, but yeah, I had other schools too, other offers, Arizona, Utah, Hawaii. But this was also the thing. Arizona was coming off of a terrible season.
Trash.
Yeah. So I was like, kind of like off rip. I was like, I'm not gonna go. and then the following year they kind of turned up. And I'm like, okay. Like, and then Utah, I probably would have heavily considered Utah. Because
Utah's tough. Yeah, Utah's tough.
Won the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And that's closer to home for me. You know what I mean?
True.
But it was kind of weird. They offered and then kind of like ghosted for a week and then hit me up like a week later and was like, oh, can we still get you on a visit? You're our guy still. Yada yada.
I hate how recruiting.
I'm like, nah. Like, first of all, it's too late. Like, I'm on a time crunch at this point.
Right.
And 2, like, I would have totally like been down for that, but it kind of fell off. So it's like other schools were showing more interest and stuff. But yeah, that's what it came down to. Was Minnesota here, Iowa State.
So you commit to Nebraska. You get here. What was like? I'm trying to think. Were you here for a spring ball?
Or I didn't play though because I had hurt my hamstring. I pulled my hamstring like probably literally like 2 weeks before spring ball.
Okay, got you.
But
So
I was here though.
I'm pretty sure we was doing signals together probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
I don't even know because I think I was still kind of confused with that offense. You probably knew a lot more than me.
Yeah, the offense. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. So first game, I'm trying to think, 2022 Ireland. Yeah, what was that experience like? I mean, obviously that was
it was crazy.
Like, especially for you. You went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. It was like, especially like a lot of people don't know this, but that week that we were in Ireland, because we obviously went there like that week early, we were to get acclimated. Like that entire week, I got sick as a dog.
Really?
Like I'm talking about, I'm waking up every night in the hotel with cold sweats, body aches. Like I lost like 8 pounds in just that 1 week leading up to the game. And I was like, man, this is like, it was fun. Like,
it was that food, huh?
I don't know what it was.
That food was trash out there.
Not seasoned. No seasoning. I'm not gonna lie. It was bland, but like it was cool. The experiences that we got to go, like, you know, sightseeing, seeing the city, all the things that we did. It was fun. But like during the day, I feel like decent, but man, I wake up just feeling horrible. So that was another thing that sucked because I'm like, we're still having practice, obviously, throughout that week too. So it's like, I'm not even like feeling good. Like I'm not feeling like myself whatsoever. And then, yeah, it ended up happening the way it did in the game, which was crazy. But yeah, it was definitely like, I wasn't expecting it to go like that off rip first game.
Right.
But it was cool.
So we flip around and then I'm pretty sure we come back home and you get to play in Memorial for the first time. What was that like?
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd always like up to that point seen videos of it and like, you know, heard it from other teammates and stuff like that. Like that it's really jumping and it gets wild, but that's something that like it's it's not gonna hit you until you experience it yourself.
Nah,
Like,
for real.
I just remember like running out, and I still to this day, like,
Bro.
like I don't think it'll ever get old. Like, I remember running out of the stadium. Like, when you're running out of tunnel walk, it's just crazy how, because it's obviously like a bowl, so you can't even see out of the stadium. But you run out and you just see literally nothing but red. And
Bro.
it's like the chills you get when you're running out. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. One of the things I had to master when I got here was, because I came from a small school. You could probably relate to this. Is like the mental side of like getting ready for a game. Like usually you gotta like amp yourself up and get like,
You almost gotta like be careful and not get too amped. Bro.
exactly. That's
Yes.
that's why I was working a lot with Dr. Brett, was like trying to stay level
Yeah.
and use the crowd, but not let it use you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I definitely get that. 'Cause
Yeah.
coming from New Mexico State.
How many did y'all get at New
Like,
Mexico?
Okay, game 1 was the best attendance we had because that was against UTEP, our rival,
What was it?
and it was like 16,000.
Okay.
So it wasn't nothing crazy.
Right,
But
right.
for that stadium, it only held like 30. So like,
Okay, so
it was pretty
felt
packed
packed.
for that stadium. But every game after that, we'd be lucky if we got 1,000. I'm not lying to you.
1,000?
Like 2,000, 3,000, maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I can feel that.
but like I said, we didn't really have a great year that year.
Right.
So, but
Right.
yeah, that big difference coming to here.
Yeah.
Seeing every
Right.
home game, no matter who it's against, no matter what the record is, it's nothing like it here.
Nothing like it.
Crazy.
With that being said, that's a good spot to go ahead and throw to our first break here. What's brewing with Chancellor Brewington? The host is always to my left. We got the guest, current wide receiver for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling in just a little bit.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Let it slip, it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Round 2 of boxing at the complex is this weekend. Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best amateur boxers on Saturday, July 13th at the complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. A grudge rematch between Lincoln's Carter Mickelhouse and Kearney's Jack Mundolf, plus another Capital City showdown to follow. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. The host, as always, to my left, we got the wide receiver, the Husker wide receiver, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda. The guest for tonight, if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685, Starter Heeman text line as always. But Chancellor, you're the host. I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, so we're just talking about your time in Nebraska, and this kind of where we get to learn a little bit more about you on the field, but also off the field, and just how you think. So last 2 years, kind of dealt with some injuries. How has that process been for you? Mentally and the growth of it and just how that journey's been.
Yeah, it's been tough to say the least.
Right.
I mean, like the ACL, the knee injury, that was like the first season-ending, like severe injury that I've ever had in my life. Like I've dealt with
ever.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've dealt with stuff like a torn hamstring.
Mhm.
Like I've dealt with that twice. But like that's obviously something that like you come back, 8 weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks,
Right.
like depending on how fast you can recover. But as far as like a legit like season ending, like this was the first one. So this one was definitely like the hardest that I've had to go through. And especially the way it happened, like off rip game 1, like you go through an entire off season, like working, and then go out game 1. It's like, man, like it's just disappointing because you can't control it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's bound to happen. Football, it's a physical sport. Like it's stuff like that's gonna happen. But it's just like I was definitely like crushed because I was like, man, like I was feeling like it was gonna be a good year, hoping it was gonna be a good year, for me personally and the team. And it was just, it was tough. But yeah, the past few months it's been a journey. But I mean, like I was telling you earlier, like it's always having its ups and downs, and you don't like see the progress in like while you're doing it, but you just look back, last month, 2 months ago, and you're like, dang, like I am doing a lot more than what I
Right.
could do just a few weeks ago. So you just gotta like me. I just try and stay positive and just try and put my faith in God and just keep controlling what I can control. Because I mean, negative attitude, like at the end of the day, is not really gonna help. So
yeah, it's gonna kill
it's easier
you.
said than done,
Yeah.
for sure. But like, I still not gonna sit here and act like I don't struggle with it because it's hard. But it's just something that I just try and keep working at.
Right. So the moment it happened in Minnesota, like what went through your mind? Like just like in the moment, injury happened. I don't know if they did the ACL test on the sideline. Like what was that moment like?
Yeah, it was like right when it happened. I remember as soon as my knee got hit, I like dropped to the floor, and I felt like it was like a numb, tingly, like weird feeling. And like how in like movies, whenever like injury happens in like a sports movie or something, the like sound in the movie goes silent, like the crowd goes silent.
Yeah.
Like the crowd's going on, but like for the player in his mind, like he can't hear nothing.
Right.
It's just that's literally what happened, bro. It was
Really?
weird. Like I boom, got hit, fell down, and I couldn't hear nothing. Like it was just like silent because I knew it was something like probably like kind of severe because I never felt something like that before. And so like I try and like I get up to a knee, and then when I stand up, that's when I realized I was like, oh crap, because I couldn't put like any pressure on it. And so I run off the field, but I'm like hobbling, like I'm limping pretty bad. But I get off the field and I go sit down straight on the bench. And I'm still not thinking like the worst though, you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, well, maybe I just got rolled up on. Like I just need to let it chill out for a second.
Right.
I sat down and they're like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. Like just let me chill for a sec. And then they're like, no, let's go to the tent real quick. So I'm like, all right, we go to the tent. And they start doing the ACL test. And like after them going back and forth probably about 4 or 5 times, I was like, it's taking a little bit too long. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it wasn't something serious, I feel like they would have already told me by now. And like I sat up and I was like, what is it? And then they're like, we think it's a ligament. Like we're gonna keep you out, get an MRI tomorrow. And this was like early 4th quarter. And I'm like, dang. So at that point, I'm like, all right, well, get ice on it. I'm just chilling. Adrenaline starts wearing down and like pain just increases. And I'm like, oh, like this is, I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. And so that next day is when I got the MRI, came in and like still wasn't necessarily thinking the worst because I don't ever want to like, you
Exactly.
don't ever
Yeah.
naturally think the
Yeah.
worst. But yeah, got the MRI and then like probably an hour or two later, I'm sitting there like doing treatment. I'm sitting here this whole time thinking I'm like maybe got like a bone bruise or something.
Right.
Because
Deep contusion.
yeah, because Marcus Washington, he had like similar like kind of battle with a little knee injury in camp, and like his was like a bone bruise, and like he was like telling me it was like similar symptoms. I'm like, we were literally in the locker room after the game in Minnesota chopping it up, and I'm like, Marcus, I'm like, how's yours feel? Like, could you do this? Like, did it feel like it hurt this doing that? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I couldn't really walk on it. Like, it was like same thing. He's like, you probably just got a bone bruise. And I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like made me feel a little bit better.
If
I'm
you know
like,
Marcus, it make it so much
I
funnier.
know, yeah. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And then, yeah, get the MRI the next day. I'm in the training room doing treatment. I'm like, still just like, I'm chopping it up, whatever, like doing what I got to do. And then Chris, our head trainer, comes over and I'm like, oh, did the results come in? He's like, yeah. And then he was like, just real like serious. And then he's like, you tore your ACL. And I was like, instant, just like shock, like lost for words. I'm like, what? Like, no way. Like, that's literally the last thing that like most football players want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's
And I'm like,
that's the holy grail injuries.
yeah. And I'm like, no way. Like, I was just in shock. And I'm like, dang. So I'm like kind of just sitting there, like, nobody really knows because obviously you just told me. So I'm like just trying to process it. And then I like call my parents and like they answer and I tell them. And as soon as I let them know, like I could just hear it in their voice. They're like just going through it. And my uncle was with them at the time. And like as soon as he got on the phone, like I just started like bawling. Like I just like it just hit me because he was emotional, I was emotional, and like that's when the emotions just kind of started flowing. I was just like that's when I was like, man, this is real. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I really did it. Like my season's done. Like,
Yeah.
There's no come back in a few weeks. Like it's over. So yeah, that was rough. And I remember walking into the locker room like on crutches. Like shortly after that, Marcus is in there. The other guys are in there and the team. I'm like, they're like, oh, what happened? I'm like, man, like I tore my knee, tore ACL. Marcus was like, what? Like, he's like, you know, Marcus, like, he just, he's like, man, we sitting here thinking you had a bone bruise. I'm like, yeah, like, was no bone bruise, bro. But yeah, just crazy, bro. Crazy.
So I'm trying to think because I've talked to Nick Henrich, talked about both his ACLs on here, and one thing he said was, and I could relate to as well, you kind of like process it, like you're saying, like you process it on the phone, process it, you know, telling people, then it like before surgery, it's almost like, okay, like we're gonna get right, like, you know, and then you go under the knife and you wake up, and then like reality hits in that, you know, you're really, you know, can't use this leg no more. Like, what was that process like for you waking up?
Bro, when I tell you, I never felt more pain in my life
Oh
when I
my
woke up.
goodness.
I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna wake up numb.
Right.
Like I'm gonna be chilling in recovery, like not feeling my leg. No, I'm telling you, I woke up 10 seconds after I opened my eyes. I feel my knee on 10. And I'm like, what? And I'm sitting there like half asleep, trying to like come back to off the stuff that they put you on, and I'm like, man, sitting there telling the nurse like, it hurts. Like they're like, all right, we're gonna get you medicine, this and that, and like, bro, them first 5 days were the hardest days ever, bro. Like pain wise, that was like, it was ridiculous. Like I had never felt that before. Like I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah,
Like that was rough, because I think what made it a little bit rough too is because the doctor was telling me like mine wasn't just ACL, it was meniscus on the inside and outside, and then like some capsule ligament on the outside. So like I was cut open on the side, in the middle, and then like even on the inside a little bit. So he was saying like I kind of had a little bit more done than just like a ACL. So the meniscus part I think is what really like made it like rough and painful, like post surgery. But yeah, that was rough, because at that point, like you said, like you kind of then like almost reprocess everything and kind of like go through just a self-evaluation, like, dang, like this is now my life for the next few months. You know what I mean? Like I can't use this leg. Like it's got to build it back up from the ground up. So it's tough.
Right. Yeah. Okay. To pivot. I know
Got about a 4-minute pivot here.
4-minute pivot. Okay. So you now being one of the older guys in the building, really, which is kind of probably crazy for you to realize. But what is that like for you, and like the growth of Isaiah? Like how have you evolved, obviously through the injuries, but just from JUCO to New Mexico? I know this is a deep question. From JUCO to New Mexico to Nebraska, the injuries, and now like what type of growth have you seen, and like what type of game can you give to the younger guys?
Yeah. I say the biggest thing is really just like learning how to operate on a day-to-day basis. Like, you know, even our staff now, like they talk about like being a pro and stuff like that, and just doing things like a pro. And I feel like over time, from JUCO to New Mexico State, like I was still young, fresh out of high school, you know what I mean? Like, so it was like I was always looking up to older guys, you know what I mean? Like trying to see how they did things and make sure that like I'm competing with them and stuff like that. And just now I really feel like I've matured a lot mentally, just in my time here in Nebraska. Because I mean, even when I transferred here, like I was only 20 years old when I got here.
That's nuts.
Yeah, like a lot of people think that I was older because I was a transfer coming from another D1 school, but I was young. Like that was literally like year 3 in college. Like I was 20 years old when I got here, and now going on about to be 23 in August. And it's kind of like I look back, I'm just like, dang, these last 3 years, like they went by, but I definitely feel so much more mature on a mental aspect, just knowing how to just operate on a day-to-day basis. Like I was saying, like just knowing right from wrong, just knowing how to do your job and do it at a high level, you know, and not be, you know, a liability, and just be a trustworthy teammate and somebody that coaches can look to as like a, you know, potential role model for the younger guys and stuff like that. Because, you know, they definitely do look up to you, the older guys, whether like you realize it or not. You know what I mean? Like, and I've now seen that and realized it, you know. So, but it's cool. I enjoy it. Like I've gotten the unks and the unk names and all that. Like I'm unk and old head, this and that. Like, so just weird because I've never been in that position,
Right.
but like it's fun.
If you could say one thing to a freshman coming in, what would it be?
Honestly, probably just embrace everything that any older guy or coach tells you.
Mm.
Like whether, sometimes maybe they are in the wrong or something like that, but like just be open-minded, like be coachable, listen to what everybody's got to say because like there's something that you can learn from everyone, like whether it's good or bad. Like you can make your decisions based off of, what you see and how you want to operate and how you want to be seen as a player, as a student, as a young man. So I would just say, yeah, be coachable and just be open-minded because that'll take you a long way. I feel like just in life, not even just
Right.
football, like just, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, like it's a good spot to go ahead and wrap up. That can be the quarter century worth of wisdom right there for you.
Oh, yeah.
Chancellor Brewington, IGC, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, both in here for What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. Don't go anywhere. One more segment. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seating Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies to go along with light winds. See an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, clear skies and calm winds with a low around 64. And tomorrow, mainly sunny, but stray showers are possible in the afternoon. We'll see a high around 90. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker from 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and maybe the biggest savings in the Midwest are happening right now at Koppel. When you buy a new GMC or Chevrolet anywhere else, you might be paying too much. But right now, we're going to give you over $10,000 off list or 1.9% APR on select new Chevrolets or GMCs. So please give us a shot before you buy anywhere else. Please stop in the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Must trade and finance with approved credit.
Round 2 of boxing at the Complex is this weekend. Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best amateur boxers on Saturday, July 13th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. A grudge rematch between Lincoln's Carter Mickelhaus and Kearney's Jack Mundolf, plus another Capital City showdown to follow. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, wrapping things up here. What's brewing with Chancellor Brewington? The host is always to my left. We got the Husker wide receiver, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, in here for tonight's guest. Last second comments, if you got anything, 402-464-5685. With that being said, we got about 4 minutes left before we wrap things up. Chancellor Brewington, I'll throw it to you.
All right, we'll go a little rapid fire on some questions that we did not get answered. We didn't do this one. How would you describe your journey this far in like a word or a phrase?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, this
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
You could pull out a Drake quote.
That's a tough one. Started from the bottom.
They don't get that one. They don't get that one.
Nah, I don't. I would say, man, bro, I don't even know. That's a tough one. I could say so many different words. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna just be a little cliche and just be like, blessing.
Right,
honestly. In all honesty,
yeah.
Like, it's just, I never thought it would get to where it is now. So I'm just very grateful and blessed to go through everything I've gone through, the good and the bad, because obviously it's made me who I am today. So
right.
Yeah, I would just say it's just been a blessing.
Okay. What was the hardest place you played at? I say this because there's a top 25 list and Nebraska was not on there.
Yeah, so
outrageous.
I was
list.
tight.
Outrageous.
I was tight.
Yeah.
I was
Boise
tight.
State was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah. I would probably say either Kentucky.
Ooh. Yeah, they get
or Minnesota was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So, yeah.
I'll take that. Okay. Let's go. What would your pitch be to a recruit that has Nebraska in their like top 3? Quick pitch.
Why not?
Why not?
Like,
why not?
Literally, why not?
Literally got everything. What's something about IGC folks don't know? Some outside of football, maybe, I don't know.
I got a lot of tattoos.
But yeah, it.
Yeah.
How many you got? How many you got? You think?
I don't know. I got like big pieces. So like,
right.
The number may not like
reflect.
match up
Yeah.
with what it is.
When'd you get the first one? That'll kind of give us a sign.
I was like maybe 4 or 5 months after my 18th birthday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
2-year-old.
Okay. Thought you were about to say 4 or 5 months old.
No.
That's crazy. If not football, what would you be doing? Like if football did not exist, what do you think you would be doing?
Honestly, I probably would have taken. I would have continued to probably take track serious and try to pursue track and field, like at the collegiate level. 'Cause I was little, I was doing competitive track and stuff. Went to the Junior Olympics twice.
Mhm.
That's something I guess people don't know about me either. But
Really?
yeah, went to the Junior Olympics as a kid twice. Also a national champion in the 4x4. when I
My
was little.
goodness.
But yeah, I
Was
would
that the only event? The 4x4? Or what did y'all do?
We did that was at nationals. We won national championship in 4x4. But like individually, I was always doing the 400, 800 sometimes, and 4x4, 4x8. That was when I got a little bit older though. That's where I was like, 400 was my bread and butter. I started off as a 100, 200 guy when I was little.
Mhm.
But when I got to like middle school, people got fast, boy.
Yeah,
Some
they
dudes got
did,
fast.
boy.
Like, it wasn't really
Start
what I
dropping
was.
them 10s and
Yeah,
11s.
I was
Yeah.
running 11 5s at like 12 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I wasn't competitive really in the 1 and the 2 anymore. But the 400, that's why I made my money. So I probably would have tried, try to pursue college track or something.
So last question here.
Yep.
All right. So being that you're kind of at the tail end of this ACL recovery journey, and you're gonna have a great season. I'm already speaking it out there, and everything's gonna go great. But for someone who is about to enter into the same journey that you basically just conquered, what would your advice be?
Man, it gets greater later. Like, to sum it up in simpler terms, like even like you're gonna hit probably some of the lowest of lows that like you've ever hit in your life. Like it's kind of inevitable, but like literally trust God, trust the process. Like, it does get greater later. Like there's just in these past 10 months, like I done hit some times where I was like, I don't even know football. Like if I want to play football anymore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if I'm gonna come back the same. Like I don't know if I'm gonna come back at all. Like it's rough, but like just continue to do things the right way. Just keep living right. Do what you gotta do. And things do get better. You just gotta keep the consistency with, keep the discipline and keep pushing forward. Don't give up. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, IGC, if they want to follow you, where can they find you?
Instagram, Twitter, at Isaiah RGC.
Easy enough. Go ahead and give him a follow. Shout out to, once again, the guest, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, the Husker wide receiver, and the former Husker. The host is always Chancellor Brewington. That's going to wrap it up for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington, but stick around. We got one-on-one replay up for you, and then Nuclear Heat with Jake Bachman and Augie talking some pro wrestling. That will start at 10 o'clock. So plenty left on weeknights. We'll talk to you in just a little bit.